Today we are going to make a simple emulsification. What emulsification is two objects or two liquids or ingredients that will not mix together, and we have to add something to those ingredients in order for them to mix together. We're going to be doing Caesar dressing. Now, a chicken Caesar wrap is a part of the practical examination for Cook 1. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to make that Caesar dressing. Once that Caesar dressing is made, we are going to take that Caesar dressing and turn it into a grilled chicken Caesar wrap. First, we're going to take our Caesar dressing ingredients. Our recipe that is given to us from the ITA is very straightforward. The yield of that recipe is 200 milliliters. So for that, we need 1 egg yolk. And I'm going to take the egg yolk and I'm going to put it in the bottom of my stainless steel bowl. What I want everybody to realize with my stainless steel bowl is I have it set up so I can have my bowl hands-free in a sense, so it is not dancing around the cutting board at the table. I have a rubber mat. We can also use a wet towel, a plate cover, and then my wet towel. I have taken 1 egg yolk and put it in the bottom of my bowl. Now I'm going to get the rest of my ingredients. The egg yolk in an emulsified dressing is what holds the items together, which allows the oil and the vinegar, or the oil and the acid, to blend together to become one. So that's what my egg yolk is for. To help stabilize that egg yolk, I also have a little bit of Dijon mustard. So I've got my egg yolk and my Dijon mustard in the bottom of the bowl. Now I'm going to grab a whip. When I get a whip, I want to use a whip that's a piano wire whip or a balloon whip. Okay? I've already got my garlic, anchovies, as well as capers chopped very fine, and they go in the bowl as well. So I've got my egg yolk, my anchovies, my garlic, as well as my capers all mixed together in the bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of acid, but I'm not going to add all my acid at the beginning. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to slowly whip it. I'm going to grab my 150 mils of olive oil, and I'm going to slowly, once everything in the bowl is incorporated, add that to my mixture. Now, as you can see, my bowl is kind of dancing around. To prevent that, I'm just going to grab another towel and make that a little bit of a tighter fit. So now my bowl won't dance so bad. Now I'm going to slowly add my olive oil to that mixture. Now this is the tricky part. You want to make sure that your olive oil is added slowly so that your egg yolk can absorb it. If you add it too fast, it overwhelms the egg yolk and it doesn't work. And what happens then is the dressing will separate. And to recognize when it's separated, it looks like it's curdled. So I can see now that my dressing is starting to come together as it is getting thick. Now if I find it's getting too thick, I'm going to add a little bit more of my acid, which is my lemon juice. That will help thin it down. I have found that if your dressing is getting too thick while you're adding your oil, it tends to sometimes struggle in absorbing that extra oil. So now all of my olive oil has been added to my mixture. I'm going to add the rest of my acid, lemon juice, which has thinned it down, and then the recipe asked for 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to add that to the dressing as well. Now the important thing to remember when you're using olive oil is taste the olive oil beforehand. Good quality olive oil tastes way different than poor quality. So here's my emulsified Caesar dressing. Now that we've made our emulsified Caesar vinaigrette or Caesar dressing, we're going to take that and we're going to create a Caesar chicken wrap. Now for a Caesar chicken wrap, we need romaine lettuce, grilled chicken breast, Caesar dressing, Parmesan cheese, and a tortilla, a whole wheat 12-inch tortilla. We're going to take that tortilla and we have to warm the tortilla up. When we're making a wrap, you have to warm the tortilla so that it's stretchable. When it's stretchable, you are able to pack more ingredients in that tortilla, and the chances of that tortilla tearing are a lot less. So what we do is we take the tortilla and we'll heat it up. So I've got a frying pan that I'm going to bring out and we're going to heat the tortilla up. So to start though, I get my romaine lettuce. 250 mils or 1 cup of romaine. That is chopped. And when you chop the lettuce, you want the lettuce to be a little on the smaller side because we're going to wrap it in the tortilla. Our chicken goes right in top of the lettuce, our Parmesan cheese, and then our dressing. We're looking for 30 mils of Caesar dressing. Now I also believe it's important that you thoroughly mix the vinaigrette or the Caesar dressing in with the romaine and the chicken. Because it's going into tortilla, it's better to have that dressing a little bit on the heavier side, like an extra ml or so, so that we don't have a dry wrap. So we have our chicken, our romaine lettuce, our Parmesan cheese, and our dressing. So I've taken my tortilla and I'm warming it up. This allows the tortilla to be pliable or stretchable. So I've got a pan that was on the stove, it's quite hot. I brought it to the station and I'm warming up my tortilla. You want your tortilla to be warm. If it's not, what happens, the chances of the tortilla tearing and the ingredients of your wrap leaking out are greater. So I'm going to take this, and what I'm doing is I'm just making sure it's warm. Now I don't want to burn my tortilla. You can use a frying pan, you can use a grill, you could also put it under the salamander, but you have to be aware of what heat source you're using and how fast it affects the tortilla. So my tortilla is nice and warm now. It's warm to touch. I've got to be careful though that I don't get it too warm because I'm adding a dressing that has a raw egg in it. Okay, so my tortilla is now warm. I get my mixture and I put it into the middle of the tortilla. So now I have my wrap ready to go. And what I do is I bring the ends up till they almost touch. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll my wrap. And as I roll it, I am gently with my fingers tucking the lettuce into the middle of the wrap. So there I have my nice wrap ready to go. Move that out of the way. Here's my plate. So now, as it says in the recipe, we're going to take that wrap and we're going to cut it on the bias. What the bias means is I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it on a bit of an angle. So I take my wrap, I cut it, and I'm going to present it on my plate. I like to go one up, one down. So there is the chicken Caesar wrap for the practical exam for Cool Kitchen. We have 2 items, the dressing as well as the wrap. Those are required for Cook 1 practical exam. Thank you very much.